Welcome fans to a new edition of Marked Out. The Red Scorpion Mike Martinez here. This time I have the top 10 cruiserweights of all time. We're going to start off the list with Cara. Here's a guy that came into WWE at a red hot time, and he was very marketable on his level in terms of the toys and things that he could do, but he was just very good in the ring as well. And we all know that there was a couple of Caras, and he's not the same Cara as the one that is today. But definitely a great cruiserweight, definitely the time when WWE really need to get back to the cruiserweight division and have a guy like him come in, so it wasn't just always about Rey Mysterio. Number 2 on the list would be the Ultimo Dragon, a guy that started overseas and then really got his notoriety in WCW in terms of TV exposure, and a lot of people really know who he was. Spent some time in WWE, definitely a guy that came full circle, did a lot of things for that division, and he's also one of the best. Next on the list is Super Crazy from ECW. He actually spent some time in WWE, but he really did a lot of crazy things, pardon the pun, in ECW. Really a guy that just was constantly flying, constantly doing something. Everyone remembers that when you pound your opponent in the corner and you hit him 10 times, the fans count 1, 2, 3. Well, his was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just it was a lot of fun with that guy. I think WWE gave him stupid Mexicool gimmick or whatever, but definitely one of the best. And then number 4 on the list would be the Hurricane, or Sugar Shane Helms. Everyone remembers the stand back, it's a hurricane coming through. But he really started in WCW, him and 3 Count, and they did their thing over there. They were flying around. They were basically WCW's versions of the Hardy Boys. And then he got to WWE as Sugar Shane, and then they morphed him into Hurricane, and he was just a classic character. But he's also a really good cruiserweight, and that's what a lot of people forget because of the cartoonish gimmick with the Hurricane. But really good in the ring, very definitely one of the very best in the cruiserweight division. And speaking of which, number 5 would be Billy Kidman. Here's a guy that started out in WCW as just this typical nobody, looked like a grunge teenager that I would have hung out with back in the day. Had no look, had no charisma, but he was really, really good when it came to wrestling in the ring and flying around. He actually did the Shooting Star Press. First time I'd ever saw it done was by Billy Kidman. Made it to the WWE, had a pretty good run there, but definitely one of the best. Next on the list is Juventud Guerrera. And a lot of these guys are going hand in hand with the cruiserweight division and what they've done in their time in WCW or in WWE. Juventud was involved in some pretty classic matches with Rey and Dean. And then, of course, we never forget some of the stupid shit with WCW when it came to a close with the pinata on a pole match that Hoovy was part of. Just some stupid stuff. And then the commentary where Hoovy must have played football in Tijuana State. You know, what was he, the ball? But anyways, great in the ring. He did some great stuff. Didn't like his interviews too much, but he was great in the ring. Next on the list would be Tajiri, a guy that started in ECW, did a lot of crazy things with Super Crazy there. And then he made it to WWE and was just a whole new character when he got to WWE and did a lot of great things. Definitely worthy of being on the list. Number 8 would be Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds, the Iceman. Dean Malenko brought... he kind of slowed down the cruiserweight division a little bit. He's very technical, but he brought a lot to the game. He was able to work with just about anybody. In fact, I think he worked with everybody in WCW at the time. When WWE brought him in, it was at a time where they didn't really have a lot of people that could work with him in that fashion. But he was definitely one of the best in WCW, and he'll go down as one of the best, in my opinion. Number 9 would be Jushin Thunder Liger, a guy most notably in WCW back in the day. His matches with Brian Pillman. Had some great matches in Japan, and then of course, he's been in ROH. He was actually in NXT recently. Just Jushin Thunder Liger is just timeless. He'll always be one of the best, and he was one of the original cruiserweights before cruiserweights were actually really cool. And then number 10 on the list, he obviously has to come in number 10 on the list, and that's Rey Mysterio Jr. He did a lot for a guy that was only 150 pounds. I mean, to actually come in and work with a lot of the cruiserweights and just do all the stuff he did. He spent time in ECW, and then he went to WCW where he just went off the charts and had some great matches with Eddie and Dean and Hoovy. And then he went to WWE and actually went from a cruiserweight to a heavyweight, ended up winning the WWE World Championship at one point, or the World Heavyweight Championship, and came full circle. But that was it. Those guys throwing themselves around. A whole new division at the time. There's a lot of guys that people overlook, and that's the cruiserweights. And so I'm giving them their respect, paying them their due right here. Top 10 marked out for them. Hope that you guys did too. If you like the show, keep on watching, like and subscribe. and we'll see you the next time around. Take care.